behind. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find the information in the description box below. I'm not gonna lie, I missed you guys. How long has it been? Like 10 days. How ironic. We're coming back on the 10th, on the first day of the 10th month. Endings and new beginnings, new cycles, old cycles closing, new cycles coming in. I had to get some new equipment for you guys because I had to make sure that y'all were able to hear these messages coming in. All right, so I do have quite a few downloads that I have been sitting on for a while, but I'm going to take it light today and let's just do an October forecast to see what can we expect surrounding the upcoming month of October. So what messages do you have for the collective at this time regarding the energy surrounding the month of October? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received in the way that you want it to best be received. Help me to see what it is that I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver any messages that you deem worthy in order to serve your highest good. For the highest good of humanity was on to none. What messages do you have for the collective at this time regarding the energy surrounding the month of October? Now, I'm not gonna lie. I last week went through an energy of like purging, cleansing, right? Things were kind of shifting, right? It seemed like there was like the energy of release, which is kind of fitting for the 10 energy, right? The 10 cycle. This number 10 speaks to endings and new beginnings, ones and zeros, right? So let's see. What messages do you have for the collective at this time regarding the energy surrounding the month of October? I'm feeling much more rejuvenated since I've taken a little bit of a break. But I'm back. Mm, one more. Loyal. Okay, so you have alchemic, inspiring, and loyal with invasive. Right. So this is like an abundant energy. This feels like something that is growing massively, right? This feels like a transformation that is coming through, but when it comes through, it's like it feels very lush, right? This is giving like a very lush. Like if you think of like greenery, if you think of like nature, if you think of like the jungle, right? The type of flowers, the type of trees, the type of like shrubbery, right? It's very lush, it's very green, it's very abundant, right? And it feels very like firm, right? It feels very consistent with this loyal energy here. It's definitely not something that is coming and going, right? This feels like a very stable energy, but it feels very fruitful, right? So again, remember in the beginning, I was talking about ones and zeros, endings and beginnings, right? So there's like, it's almost like the energy of like the seed being planted, right? And it kind of like sprouts up into this tree and it grows into this like big green like oak tree, right? Something that is very stable, something that has the ability to kind of withstand many life cycles, many lifetimes, right? Many environments, many transformations, right? Whatever this is coming in for you, it has the ability to take you forward in the long run, right? It's something that's here to stay, right? It's something that is going to grow with you, right? It's something that is going to evolve as you evolve, right? It's almost as if you are helping something else to grow the same way it's helping you to grow, right? So again, that's that like balance of alchemy energy, right? It's almost as if like there's an equal balance of give and take, right? It's giving Six of Pentacles. It's giving like not necessarily the justice energy because that's just like balancing the scales, but it feels like a combination of Six of Pentacles and Eight of Wands, where it's something that's very fast, right? It's something that it's like there's like a very powerful um force behind this frequency, but it's also something that has the ability to shift one another, right? So again, if so, this is a general message, so take it how it resonates, right? If this is a lifestyle for you, if this is a mindset, if this is a career choice, if this is a new connection, right? If this is a new um, friend circle, business partnership, right? However, it's going to resonate for you. Whatever this is that is coming in for you has the ability to help you to evolve in the same way that you have helped it to evolve, right? And this feels like a consistent growth. This feels like something that has the ability to transform again over lifetime, over many periods of times, right? It's something that kind of consumes you in a way that it it brings you so much. It brings you so much awareness. It brings you so much enlightenment, right? It brings you so many opportunities. It brings you so many different resources, right? Different levels or different avenues, different pathways, different perspectives, right? Different connections, relationships, right? Whatever this is that is coming in for you, whatever this transformation that is happening for you, is creating again new doors. It's opening new doors, it's opening new pathways, it's presenting new opportunities, right? Opportunities that have the ability to transform your mindset, opportunities that have the ability to transform your lifestyle, right? Again, so this can resonate in more than one way for you, right? This can be in multiple areas of your life at one time, or this can be one specific area for you, right? You have to know yourself to know how the reading applies to you. But there's definitely something coming in that you have been nurturing, you have been manifesting, you have been making transformations towards, right? You have been taking steps, taking actions to make the necessary changes in order to kind of fulfill this desire, fulfill this passion, fulfill this space, right? You are making space for something that has already made space for you, right? So clarify opposite is temperance. That's kind of what it felt like. That's kind of what it felt like with the Three of Wands. There's a balance happening here, right? A sense of peace where you feel chaos, right? Something is bringing understanding, right? Something is bringing clarify this Three of Swords and this Five of Wands. What's this energy here? The Tower. With the Hierophant. Okay, so you can be in a space where you are gaining a sense of clarity, you're gaining a sense of understanding of maybe why some things had to take place. Maybe you're gaining an understanding of maybe why you had to make certain changes, why you had to make certain transitions in your life, why certain transformations took place, why you experienced certain things, certain connections, certain relationships, maybe why those things had to maybe come to a halt, right? It seems as if something has come, like the foundation of something has crumbled. And it almost felt as if at one point in time, you may have felt as if your world was coming to an end in a sense, right? Whereas if maybe you felt as if, okay, maybe I'm never going to go after a job in this career with anymore, or maybe I'm never going to entertain friends who look like this, or I'm never going to entertain relationships again because I was once hurt, or however it's going to resonate for you, right? But it almost as if you made a vow to never experience something again because of an experience that you had that almost made it almost as if it kind of wavered your faith a little bit. Not in the sense of you not believing, but almost as if it created a strong sense of self doubt that firm foundations were possible within that manner. However, this energy is this new beginning, this whatever is coming in is getting ready to transform that energy, right? It's giving you a sense of purpose, right? It's making those experiences, um, it's giving them a clear sense of meaning, right? It's giving them a clear sense of understanding, right? Maybe you had to learn that lesson in that manner so that you were able to transform that energy into something that was more fitting to you, right? So maybe you were applying leadership skills in a position that didn't necessarily require those qualities. And so now you have the knowledge that not every aspect of your life requires the same amount of energy. So now you have the awareness, you have the knowledge of how to apply certain things in specific times, right? I'm hoping this is making sense. But it's almost as if things are, again, the temperance card is the angel card. It's balance, it's patience, it's peace, right? It is things coming to an even flow state, right? It's alchemy, right? It's the transformation of one thing to another, right? And so it's almost as if you're turning that, like, I don't want to, it's almost as if you're like turning that pain into pleasure, right? So maybe you exhibited certain traits in one position that did not work, but now that same opportunity is presenting itself that require those same qualities. However, this position is more suited for those qualities versus the one that you were trying to apply it to in the past. Does that make sense? So now it's almost saying like, where's your faith, right? Are you going to give up on this belief? Are you going to give up on this dream? Are you going to give up on this desire because you are applying the qualities in the wrong situation? Or are you going to take this new opportunity that is presenting itself that was made for those qualities, and are you going to apply it to that specific situation? Right? So that's a decision that you're going to have to, a conversation that you're going to have with yourself, right? To understand or to kind of give yourself the grace to know that now you have a better sense of enlightenment. Now you have a better sense of awareness. Now you have a different level of trust within yourself. Give me something on this temperance. What is this transformation taking place? What is this transformation taking place? The Page of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. The Ten of Wands. Hmm. So it's regarding something that left you feeling empty in the past, something that left you feeling. It's almost as if you were trying to, again, like imagine planting a seed in the desert, right? You're planting something that requires a lot of water. You're planting it in an environment that is very dry and does not produce water at all, right? And so that seed is not going to grow because you're not planting it in the right environment. However, the transformation here is that now the correct environment is being presented to you, right? Now you have the necessary tools, the necessary circumstances that are required for that seed to flourish, right? For that seed to grow. Look, and generous was right underneath it. Now you have the correct resources available to you to make that seed grow in a lustful way, right? In an abundant way, in a way that is generous not only to you, but to those around you, right? You're going to feed it and it's going to feed you, right? You're going to nurture it right? It's going to give everything that you give to it, it's going to return back to you tenfold, right? And so now the question is, are you going to take the opportunity now that you're being provided the right circumstances, or are you going to remain in this area of defeat because you were trying to plant a seed in an environment that was not conducive to its growth? Clarify inspiring, the Ace of Wands. That's exactly that's exactly the frequency of inspiring. The Warrior of Swords with the Seven of Cups. Yeah, it's because maybe in the past you were um, kind of stretching yourself beyond your limits, right? You were kind of pouring into many different aspects with no real intention, right? You were kind of like planting seeds and hoping to see what would come of them, right? Not really setting a purposeful intention, right? You were kind of, again, spreading yourself in a sense of giving more than you had the ability to maintain in that current moment. Kind of just leading with your sense of inspiration, kind of leading with your desire, leading with that space of almost like trying to fulfill a craving, right? With no real sense of nutrition, no real nutritional value, right? No real sense of um, health and growth within the things that you were pouring into, right? You were just kind of putting yourself within many areas. Whereas now, right, this new opportunity that's presenting itself is kind of creating that space for intention, right? It's bringing you new ideas. It's providing new opportunities that you may have dreamed of in the past that again you may have lost hope in because you weren't necessarily seeing the results that you had desired because you weren't doing so within the right circumstances. I'm really hoping this is making sense. But now it feels like again you have the energy, you have the space, you have the necessary sense of fulfillment that you need in order to encourage um, a, a good sense of healthy growth within this new endeavor, within this new life cycle, right? Within this new business, within this new community, within this new habit, right? Clarify loyal. The Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands came back out. It was at the bottom of the deck over here. Because there was something that you were carrying, death, transformation, rebirth, right? If this is not symbolic of the number 10, I don't know what else is. Judgment, discernment, right? Your purpose, your intention. Okay, so that experience that you are transitioning out of, right? That environment, that mindset, that um, the company that you were keeping, right? All of that was to show you something, right? It was to show you the responsibility that you have within your own personal evolution, within your own personal growth, within your own personal maybe mindset you needed to grow out of, maybe habits you needed to grow out of, maybe certain bonds or connections that were holding on to you that were kind of stunting your growth in a way, right? Because you see the leaves falling off of the tree, right? When the seasons change, the leaves fall off, right? When it's time for growth, when it's time for that tree to go in a mode of dormancy to kind of protect itself, anything that is not conducive to its growth, anything that is not conducive to its nourishment, it falls away, right? And you have to be willing to kind of let go of those burdens that don't necessarily serve the purpose that you are looking to fulfill within that time frame, right? You have to really be aware of your responsibility in the area of evolution, in the area of growth, right? right? Knowing when to everything in life goes through a season of dormancy, right? And so just because something lies dormant doesn't mean that it's dead. It just means that it is in a state of protection, right? In order to maintain its life source in an area that is not conducive to its growth, in a season that is not conducive to its growth, right? So you think about in the wintertime when certain trees, when the leaves fall off of those trees, it's because they have to maintain all of the life source that they have within their root system, within their limbs, right? Within the foundation of the tree, right? So they don't have extra energy to expend to the leaves to continue the nourishment and the growth that they require because they need to protect the foundation of the tree, right? And so that's kind of the frequency of this message, right? Knowing when to give and knowing when to receive, right? Knowing when to move forward and when to hold back, right? Knowing when to evolve and when it's time to be in that state of dormancy, right? Allowing yourself the space to kind of flow with the seasons and not being resistant to change because you are afraid of letting go, because you are afraid of the responsibility that comes with change, right? Because change, growth, evolution, expansion, anything that kind of resonates within that energy is not a free flowing frequency, right? It's something that requires effort, right? Because there is a level of resistance within the challenges of growth, right? And so you have to be willing to kind of accept the awareness and the knowing that it's much harder to remain stagnant than it is to grow, right? And so you just kind of have to be aware of that. So let's pull 4 cards. One card for what we can learn as the major lessons surrounding this message. One card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. And one card for the new cycles and habits we can innovate to contribute to our growth and expansion surrounding this message. One card for what we can learn. This is definitely the perfect energy surrounding like change and transformation as we're stepping into like the fall season, right? As we're really getting into that space of like change, right? 10 is again endings and new beginnings, right? Transformation. The number 10 is transformation within itself, ones and zeros. And so, who are you being loyal to? Are you being loyal to yourself or are you being loyal to the things that depend on you? Are you being loyal to the growth and expansion and the protection of yourself, or are you being loyal in protecting the things that you fear letting go of, even though they're causing a heavier burden within your life because they're helping you, they're encouraging you to remain stagnant. One card for what we can learn: discipline. This kind of goes with that loyalty energy, right? Health. What are you being loyal to? Are you being loyal to your growth and expansion, or are you being loyal to remaining stagnant? Are you going to try to hold on to those dead leaves even though they're draining you more than they are feeding you? Or are you going to accept the responsibility of letting them go because it's necessary to preserve the health of the foundation in general, right? It's no longer about the leaves, right? Because the leaves will grow back. They come back every year. And every year that they fall off, they grow back more healthy, they grow back more beautiful. Whereas if you were to try to hold on to them, the tree would be so sick that it would not even be able to grow healthy leaves, right? And so you have to ask yourself again, what is it that you're being loyal to? What are you committing yourself to? Are you committing yourself to holding on to things that are not contributing to your growth? Or are you holding on to the health of your foundation? Are you committing yourself to the health of your foundation so that you have the ability to grow an abundant source of healthy fruit, right? One card for the opportunities we can create. Regret and love. Mm, right. This feels like that. This feels like that alchemy energy where you're transforming, right? Not holding on. You can creating the space to learn from your past experiences, right? Creating the space to kind of acknowledge the fact that you were trying to grow a seed in the desert, right? It wasn't the correct environment for that tree to flourish. And now that opportunity is presenting itself to you. Now you are being presented in a place that creates healthy soil, that creates healthy fertilizer, right? That creates pure water, right? Not water that is um, poison or tainted, right? But pure water, right? Healthy water, clear water, clean water, right? That will contribute to the health and nourishment of the fruit in which you're trying to grow, right? Again, now you're being presented in a more in soil that is much more healthy, right? You're being presented with the space and opportunity to create the garden of abundance in which you desire. And so, again, you just kind of have to ask yourself, are you going to hold on to the grief of not being able to produce fruit in the desert? Or are you going to take that lesson and understanding that it just was not the correct environment? And now that you are being presented with the correct environment, it has the ability to grow as much effort as you put into it, right? One card for what we can meditate on as the focus, adversity. With health, health is back, right? Challenges will come, challenges will present itself, right? But what are you committing yourself to? Are you committing yourself to the growth? Are you committing yourself to the evolution? Are you committing yourself to learning new lessons that will help you to master the level of health and abundance and wealth that you're trying to create, right? Focus on what it is that you're trying to grow, right? That's what this space of dormancy is for, right? For you to kind of perceive what it is that you are looking to nurture. What are you trying to grow? What is it that you are trying to, what state of evolution are you trying to reach? And how can you get there, right? What is going to be required of you? Right? What changes are you going to have to make within yourself? With, excuse me, within your environment, right? Within the connections and the company that you keep, right? Within the mindsets and the habits that you reiterate within your life, right? What changes and challenges are you going to have to commit yourself to in order to maintain the health and wealth of the life that you are desiring to achieve, right? And one card for what the new cycles and habits we can innovate to contribute to our growth and expansion surrounding this message. This feels like a very peaceful energy, right? It feels very transformative, but it also feels very, look, change, friendship, the company you keep, right? The conversations that you're having, right? The food that you're eating, your relationship to food, your relationship to your physical health, your relationship to your mental health, your relationship to your emotional health, right? Your relationship to the health and wealth of, again, the company you keep, your business partnerships, your friendships, your romantic relationships, the acquaintances, right? Conversations that you engage in passing, right? All of those things are relevant to the health of what it is you're consuming, right? The music that you're listening to, the sources of television that you're watching, right? All again, all of those things are conducive to the health and wealth of your well-being, because they're all things that you are consuming energetically, whether you're aware of it or not. They are relevant to your everyday life, right? But that's the message that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonated. I know that if you made it to the end of this video, you have found something in it that is worthy and valuable to you. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you for watching. Bye.